Chair Foster. Here. Commissioner Showalter.
Here.
Commissioner Michelli. Councilmember Pollica.
Here.
Commissioner Newman.
Here.
Commissioner Hall.
Here.
Commissioner Brazen. Commissioner Azar. And Commissioner Subakatani.
I would like to make a motion to excuse the absences of those not present.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we have on our agenda this evening, a public hearing.
Did we
For
approve the
6-6.
minutes? Oh, sorry.
So the only item of business for tonight is a public hearing for 660 East 10 Mile Road and some administrative items. Any changes to the agenda for this evening? Not a motion?
Move to accept the agenda as presented.
I will second that.
Motion by Polka, support by Showalter. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, thank you. Sorry, it wasn't on. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Make sure that
Yeah, my light's on.
you don't have one.
Speaking loudly.
Do you want to come over here? We've got an extra.
Yeah, just,
Just come over here.
What'd you do with them?
you take your name. That's right.
All right, well, sorry for the mic issues, but we have went through roll call and approved the agenda, and we are moving on to approval of minutes for October 15th, 2025. There has been a minor edit in the minutes since they were sent to the Planning Commission, and so there is a printed copy in front of you here. That was a requested change by Chris, I believe?
Yes.
Okay, and so if there are any questions or additional edits? If not, a motion for approval.
Through the chair, can I, Commissioner Hall, can you share what change that you wanted to see on this? Or you requested?
It was in regards to attendance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Was it in regards to the arrival? Yeah,
Correct, yeah.
It was a little bit confusing the way it was written
Right,
at first.
yeah.
I think, agree. Okay, thank you.
I move to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion by Polka, support by Newman, I believe.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Next, we have a call to audience. So if there's anyone here tonight that would wish to speak on anything other than the the conditional rezoning that is on the agenda for this evening at 660 East 10 Mile Road, we will have a public hearing and comments can be made at that time for that item. But if there's anything else that anyone would wish to speak to, now would be the time. All right.
Yeah, it looks like we do have one. You can come
Oh,
up here
please
if
go ahead
you'd
and
like.
step up where Melissa is, right here, to the microphone, please. Thank you. No worries. We're actually waiting for another commission member, so take your time.
Yeah, we're trying to burn time.
Hello, I'm James Van Steele. I am also a volunteer commissioner on the Ferndale Environmental Sustainability Commission, and I just wanted to say thank you to Chris for inviting me, kind of not to formally participate in the debate about this public issue, but just to become more informed and connected with the work that the Planning Commission does. So I can give my personal input as a resident, I guess, about the proposed rezoning, but I'm not here in my capacity as a commissioner. But I did want to just raise the opportunity to the commissioners that are present that the FESC would like to have a stronger partnership and invite you to our meetings as well. And anytime that you have a development or a planning issue that you think sustainability experts could weigh in on, please feel free to reach out to our chair. We don't know who that's going to be in 2026 yet, but I'm happy to share my contact information as well. All right, thanks.
Thank you, James. I actually just had a conversation with our new CED director, Ross, who's here tonight, about the same thing, and looking forward to what our agenda is for the next year and some of these partnerships that we can get some stronger connections with FESC, being one of those. Too many acronyms. All right, thanks. All right, well, with that, it looks like, Melissa, you'll be ready to introduce our public hearing, which is item 5A on the agenda, which is in the matter of parcel 24-25-27-201-020, or commonly known as 660 East 10 Mile Road, which is a consideration of a conditional rezoning request from I-1 Industrial to MXD1 Neighborhood Mixed Use with conditions presented by the applicant and a site plan approval. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chair Foster. So I'm going to go through a few slides just to kind of provide context of the site, as well as a general overview of the request. Then I'll be handing it off to the applicant to describe the proposal more in depth. So the site, 660 East 10 Mile, is currently situated within the northern portion of the city of Ferndale, specifically the southwest corner of the intersection at East 10 Mile Road and Bermuda Street. It's part of an overall larger development, the Iron Ridge development, which consists of the subject parcel, several parcels to the south, as well as a few to the west that are located within the city of Pleasant Ridge. The current zoning category is I-1, so one of our industrial zoning districts. You can see the existing zoning map is shown on the screen. A few of the parcels immediately south are also zoned as industrial. Some across Bermuda Street are zoned as MXD1, which is the requested zoning district with conditions. The future land use designation as set forth within the Plan Ferndale future land use map designates the parcel as light industrial as well. And just a few photos. There has been some reinvestment in the property over the past few years. The photos here on the screen show that there have been some aesthetic improvements in relation to public art to kind of beautify that intersection and that entrance into the city. There have been improvements related to parking and overall facade and additional improvements as well. Obviously, it's much better weather in the pictures than what you would see if we were to drive out right now. So as for the request, as Chair Foster mentioned, the applicant is petitioning for conditional rezoning from I-1 industrial to MXD1 neighborhood mixed use with conditions as voluntarily offered by the petitioner. In addition, they are requesting site plan approval, and the conditional rezoning request does require that public hearing. Staff has taken all of the appropriate steps to ensure that those public notification requirements have been met, so we're all good there. In terms of the voluntarily offered conditions, I just wanted to throw those up on the screen, and you have them in your packets as well. The developer has agreed, or will agree, to restrict the use of the property to a number of uses. A number including, or I guess 33 as shown in Exhibit B. And so a lot of these are really focused on the commercial, restaurant, retail types of uses within the zoning ordinance. And moving from that industrial zone to the MXD1, since they've limited that, it would be eliminating some of those more intensive uses such as warehousing and things like that. In addition, they have noted a few modifications as well. And so the developer has requested modifications to allow for an outdoor patio, fencing, and landscaping in the front yard as shown on that associated site plan. Front and side yard setbacks would be shown on the site plan as well. Customer and employee off-street parking would be situated within that adjacent parking lot. That's again within that same development. And no dedicated loading or unloading zone would be provided on the subject property. It would instead occur on that adjacent parking lot as well. So with all of that, I will back up to the agenda and I will pass it off to the applicant if you're comfortable with that.
All right, Melissa, actually, I have maybe a question for staff before we move forward.
Yes.
Have we heard from Council Sabakatani? Just since Commissioner Vice Chair Showalter would like to recuse himself from this item. And so, although we've had all this information in the packet that you've just summarized very well in your presentation, we want to make sure that she has the opportunity to hear from the applicant before moving forward. So we might have to take a short recess until she returns.
Okay. Yeah.
So I apologize, everyone, but it should only be a few minutes. And at the time, we will. Okay. So do we want to skip forward to any items while we're waiting, perhaps to administrative items?
Yeah, we can. Yes, that's fine. Okay.
Apologize, we could have moved this at the top of the agenda, but we were hoping that she would make it, and I think she will be in for a few minutes. But and maybe just a quick introduction from the new CED director, and then we can wait until do the planning commission schedule later, because I'm not sure how long that will
Yeah.
take. I don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it'll be nice, since you're going to be here with us this evening anyways, to introduce yourself.
Right, why not do
Welcome.
it in the beginning, you know?
All right, thank
Good evening, everyone. Super excited to join on Ferndale's team here. Joined about a month or so ago, so Melissa's been, training me up on the latest developments happening around the city, so super thankful to her and the staff so far. And as Michelle noted, did meet with her, had a great conversation with her, and some of the things that we'd like to do moving forward. So looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, you didn't mention where you came from before? I don't know if so.
Sorry, yes. So came from Groseal Township, totally different community compared to Ferndale. So I'm very happy to be, to make that transition here. I was in Groseal for 3.5 years. Before that, worked in Hamtramck for a year. I got my master's degree at Wayne State for urban planning. So longtime Detroiter, longtime visitor of Ferndale. So it's very, very happy to be working for the city. So.
Well, we're very happy to have you as well, so thank you. We look forward to working with you, and it's pretty good timing with our new zoning ordinance, and
Yes.
good timing to make goals for the next year, and so we really appreciate you stepping in, and
Sure.
look forward to working with you.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay, that took about a minute. Any questions from the council or commission?
No, I do have a topic that I was going to bring up during, what's that section we call it?
Commission items?
Mission items. And it's for staff. So prior to Roger Caruso's departure, Commissioner Sam Muscelli, and I with Roger were working on updating the food truck ordinance. And since his departure, it's really stalled. And just want to make sure that that doesn't get lost, moving into the next year. I just drove down Woodward and I noticed at the mobile gas station at just south of Saratoga, what is that? Not Academy, it's Ardmore. There's a food truck there now. Never was. All of a sudden, there's a food truck. So they're popping up a lot at gas stations, and we just want to make sure that they're being properly managed in those locations, cars coming in, if we have an excess of cars, traffic flow, all of that has never been taken into consideration of having food trucks at gas stations.
Right, yeah, no, speaking with the team, there's a couple other items, including food trucks, that's been pointed out. We have a working list right now that we'd like to bring in front of, the commission, as talking points to see, we have some ideas of how we'd like to work those out. So I know even though we just did an overhaul of our zoning ordinance, and then on top of that, an additional round of edits, we still have some items that we'd like to bring up. So that will be coming before the commission here soon, once we kind of finalize everything and provide our recommendations to the commission, so.
Back in the spring, we had an open house with a number of food truck owners to talk to them, have them talk to us about what issues they see,
Right.
some of our concerns, and it was a great session. We learned a lot, but then it just kind of all stalled.
Gotcha.
So
If anyone has notes from that meeting, that'd be helpful.
we recorded it, so
Oh, okay,
it would
great.
be,
There's notes.
yeah.
Okay, great. I'll be sure to track down that meeting and see if there's any notes left behind too.
Okay,
So,
yep.
awesome.
Through the chair, is it possible to get an updated list of all the food trucks that are currently out there? Just make
Yes.
sure that, folks are being compliant and submitting things to the city.
Yes, so we did just receive, because the fire department does routine inspections on them, we did just receive a list from them. Because that was the other thing, having code enforcement actively going, making sure that they are registered or at least been inspected by the city. So I can forward that information to you all too, if that's of interest.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you. Well, we will pause that conversation. I'm sure there's other things that we want to make sure that are on our list for moving forward. But at this time, I'd like to get back to item 5A, and at the time, to dismiss Vice Chair Walter. Yes, sorry. Do we need to vote on that?
I'm just saying yes.
Yes.
All right, so I need a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, fine. Thank you. All right, sorry about that, folks. We will get back to 5A with a presentation from our applicant. If you want to come.
Do you need to announce my
Oh, and,
arrival?
yes, Bakatani has arrived at 11:47. Thank you.
6:47?
I'm sorry, I don't know why, but my laptop's on London time. 6:47.
Well, thank you very much, and we're pleased to be here this evening. My name is Dennis Cowan. I am working with and representing Iron Ridge Holdings LLC, which is the owner of the property, and as you know, has been involved in creating the Iron Ridge District. Tonight represents the next evolution with the district, and we are requesting your thoughtful consideration and your recommendation for site plan approval and conditional rezoning of the property and the use as a restaurant. And we are very excited about this particular restaurant. Iron Ridge has had a lot of people approach them, but they wanted to wait for the right one, and I'll let Mr. Strong follow me, one of the owners of Iron Ridge Holdings, and talk more about that in the actual plan. But I have a couple issues to talk about, but first I want to introduce our team, because we have everybody here you need if there's any questions. First, Craig Strong and Kelly Woodley, and the two Katies who I just met, who do all the administrative work for the district. So we're very pleased to have the team with us. And then Will Branch, who is going to be the executive chef and proprietor of Paper Sons Barbecue. And then finally, right behind me is Vincenzo Finazio, who is with Stonefield Engineering, and he drew up all the plans. So he's here to explain the plans if you have any questions on those. Before I do begin, I want to thank, on behalf of Iron Ridge, we want to thank the Planning Commission and the city for all the support they've shown over the years. As we know, this is a long-term project. It was a significant reuse of the old Walker Wire industrial facility. And it's moving along. And this is, like I said, the next evolution, next step. And also, on a personal note, I want to thank your planner. I deal with planners all over southeastern Michigan and the state, and she has been very helpful as any, but also very direct and represented the city of Ferndale well. So you have someone who's looking out for the best interests of the city, but also trying to help the project along. As I mentioned, Iron Ridge has been working very hard to bring quality tenants and continue the evolution of the district. So it's truly a community-centered area. Right now, the couple issues I want to cover, one is the zoning and the request for conditional rezoning to MX1. That zoning district has already been introduced in this area, actually directly right across the street where I think the apartments are and other property. And then also down to Woodward Heights, not that far away, you have MX1. There's MX2, another mixed-use district, which is a couple blocks away, right along 10 Mile, right along the expressway. So you can see the area starting to change, and that's actually supported in your master plan because while it shows this as the gray industrial use, it does say in the write-up for industrial in the future land use map that it will be the intent of the district is to incorporate a greater mix of uses and supportive infrastructure while preserving functionality and character of a working industrial district and employment center. And when I read that, I said, that's the Iron Ridge District. That's exactly what it is. And also calls for the master plan calls for the adaptive reuse of traditionally industrial spaces to new office and retail uses. And that's exactly what we're doing with this building. This used to be part of the industrial complex there, and now it is going to be turning into a more active use as a restaurant. With respect to the site plan, the teams worked very hard to try to fit within all the requirements. We fell a little bit short with 4 small and I believe very modest modifications, which we can discuss, and most of them are the result of the adaptive reuse and the fact of the building being where it is on the site. So we can talk more about those if you so wish. And there is adequate parking in the lot directly south. That is owned by Iron Ridge Holdings also, but it's not part of the property to be conditionally rezoned. So technically, the parking is not part of this, but there is adequate parking available for the restaurant use. The end result is, with your help, we can take a building that's been in hibernation and activate it for the good of the community and for this district. One final point, for all the uses that we listed in the conditional rezoning agreement draft and that were presented to you, that list is about half of all the uses that are allowed in MX1. We took out all the residential uses, almost all the public and quasi-public uses. The only one we left in was recreation. We certainly have the hope that this restaurant is going to be there for a long time. But things do change, and if there is a change, this helps us know what the rules of the road are for in the future a potential use. And I believe all these uses would be clearly acceptable uses in the district if they ever were to occur. So with that all being said, at this time I'd like to call up Mr. Strong, who, like I said, is one of the partners in Iron Ridge Holdings and has been part from the very beginning of this change from this industrial area into what we have today, and continues to grow.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen.
Greg?
Hi, I'm Craig Singer, but tonight I can be Craig Strong. And,
It's always bad when you mispronounce the client's name.
I started it off with not being able to remember commissioner's name, so, I think it's just in the air. Apologies.
and we are here to answer any questions that you have. So I think you have the presentation, and we'd be happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you. Well, maybe I start with the spelling out the conditional rezoning, and if there's any additional conditions other than the uses that were allowed. I know that we have it just for records of and that might have been a question for Mr. Cowan, but.
Do you have the In other words, you'd like me to read the conditions?
No,
that-
just if there's anything big overall, just for the
No, I
record.
think
I
that,
think it's just the uses.
We've already made the physical improvements to the exterior of this building and the adjacent parking lot. We think that one of the inadequacies of this finishing, the leasing at this district that we've had many question is the lack of food. So we've been out seeking a food use for the small little garage building as well as this two-story building. And we are excited to meet Will and his team and think that that it would be a great complementary use to all of the other uses in the property. The exterior changes will be minimal because they're basically complete. We do have on the south side of the building, between the entrance and the parking lot, we stopped all of the construction, and we stopped the construction on the corner park until we knew how this building was going to be used. So we've presented the site plan that integrates all of the different components to complete the building.
Okay, thank you. All right. Well, thank you. I think that we can go ahead and open up the public hearing before we get to the commission for questions and a motion. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I will open the public hearing for, to remember not to look at my minutes. For parcel 24-25-27-201-020, commonly known as 660 East 10 Mile Road, for the consideration of conditional rezoning from I-1 industrial to MXD1 neighborhood mixed use with conditions as presented by the applicant. And I will open the public hearing at 6:59. If anyone would like to speak on the item. James, did you want to come back up, or? Sorry, I don't want to call you out. I don't think there's anyone else here, so. Thank you.
So I have not reviewed the site plan or the particular recommendations for the adaptive reuse, so this is more just a personal question. I'm not familiar with what the previous use of this building was, particularly the two-story building that's intended to be a restaurant. And I'm just wondering if there are any hazardous, like, waste mitigation issues from that legacy use. And that may actually extend outside of the building itself to the grounds and the what is now parking lot stuff. Especially if like outdoor patio use and landscaping is intended for, you know, all ages to kind of gather and spend a lot of time there. If there's any kind of ground contamination or debris that's left over, just interested in kind of the history of the site and how recently it was used and if any mitigation had already been conducted, I guess, on the site. Thanks.
Thank you. James, I knew you were already up here. Can you just repeat your name for the record, please?
James Van Steel, resident of Ferndale.
FEC.
Yeah, FESC member, but just here as a observer.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Pretty sure everyone else is with the applicant. So seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:01 p.m. All right. So I just want to kind of kick us off with saying that, you know, it's not typically great to see rezonings right after we've done a zoning ordinance, but that there was so much that we went through the zoning ordinance. So, you know, we completely rehauled our zoning ordinance and nuances on the zoning map can be very hard to spot, and we don't like to make a lot of changes unless there's things that come up over the years. Typically, it is when owners come to us that we kind of identify where there might need to be some changes. And of course, through our master planning process and the future land use map, as Mr. Cohen stated, that is part of the master plan and how we do review our zoning. I think that this is an area, sorry, I'll also preface it with, I am certainly on record and typically a strong advocate for not transitioning industrial land to mixed use and particularly residential, which I was kind of happy to see that that was being left off of the conditional rezoning. Just because we want to be able to maintain those areas for real estate that are serving our population, especially for the working population, for jobs, et cetera. However, I think this is a very unique situation in that it is along 10 Mile, across the street is the same zoning, and along 10 Mile, it's right on the corner. I think this is actually a prime example of where it does make a lot of sense to do a rezoning. And that it's great for the applicant to bring this to our attention, as I think we could have done it within the process of the zoning ordinance, but this is, I think, a great area for this transition. So kind of want to start with that. Do we have any questions for the applicant? And I do want to make sure that James's question gets addressed as well, so.
Yeah, through
Go
the
ahead.
chair. My first question is, you said you're going to be using parking at the building parking lots south of the site? I don't know who wants to speak to this. It's up to you guys. So I guess my first question is, how many more buildings do you own south of this one lot that we're looking to rezone?
How, can I get back to the site plan, Melissa?
Screens.
Should be up there.
There we go.
I was just going to actually go to that where you had.
Sure.
I don't know why this one is up there.
What does the face look like? Maybe it's that? No. Yeah, see, that's what it's for. There should be another one.
So
It's white and it's small, if I recall.
are you able to see what's on?
We have them down here, so we're okay, and
Oh,
everyone
is
else
it
can see.
visible on here?
It is,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, then we don't need,
So, yeah.
okay, sorry.
You can turn it on if you found it, but you can move forward.
So we own all of the property where it says project site, and it's an irregular shaped site. We own everything to the south of it, and actually everything to the west of it. And we own the apartments to the east of it that we developed as well. So, but Iron Ridge Holdings is the subject site, the site to the south, and then the site to the west. That's all in Pleasant Ridge. So that parking lot is really, will service this restaurant building and the building in Pleasant Ridge. There's also parking in Pleasant Ridge as well. So we're extremely confident that there's enough parking to support the restaurant as well as our other uses as we lease up.
Excellent. So I guess my second question to that is the intention to continue building this out as mixed-use development, stores, restaurants, to continue to create?
Most of the remaining space, other than this little, this two-story building and that little sort of garage building, both, the rest of the buildings to the west are in Pleasant Ridge, but many of them have been built out and are occupied by mixed-use tenants, and there is still a large 30,000 plus square foot, one-story space that will be some sort of office or high-tech use. There is a building on the south end of that parking lot that is in Ferndale that will remain a light industrial use.
I guess, so the point, aside from the black garage building or gray garage building that's immediately south of the site in question, the industrial zone lots in Ferndale are just parking lots at this point,
No, there is one
at the very south.
at the very south of
Yeah,
this
like
picture.
six or seven lots away. I can't tell from this, but it's,
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
far
been
away from this.
consolidated into one lot, but it's,
thank you very much.
is this,
South of the dotted line. There, yeah.
right here is a
Yep.
building.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be still expected to be light industrial, even though it's been completely renovated, both inside and out. It has been renovated for a light industrial use. Also, further down, there's, on the other side of that building, there's a building attached to, across a little parking lot that we don't own. And then next to that, there's two more buildings, a dance studio and what used to be a heating and
Storage?
cooling company.
Oh.
No, north of the storage.
Okay.
So those are also sort of light industrial uses, mixed uses, and they're also part of the Iron Ridge district.
Can you speak to the environmental
Sure.
review?
Yeah, this was a horribly contaminated site by Walker Wire and other previous tenants. It was part of a $7 million brownfield redevelopment. The entire site has been mitigated, including Pleasant Ridge and Ferndale property, inside and out, including, I think, $1.5 million worth of PCB removal that was outside of these buildings. And it's a remarkably clean site today. There is one small portion of one of the industrial buildings that has some sub-slab soil contamination, gas contamination, that we've installed state-of-the-art systems to below slab grade, and they dissipate out through proper venting. For an industrial use, these are issues that are commonly ignored, and this property has everything to the highest standards.
Thank you.
I have a few questions. Why is the front yard or outdoor dining necessary for the site?
Well, it's, I think that because of the mural and because of how the site is situated, the proprietor would like outdoor dining and thinks that it's a place that would be, beautiful to accommodate it. So, we think that it's a good spot. It could be argued that it's a side yard or a front yard, I'm not sure, with, being sort of on a corner, but we think that we can build it into that sort of pocket park design, and that it can be screened and a nice outdoor amenity.
My next question, I know there's been some concerns about Release Dance Studio and kind of the noise happening and whatnot. How would you mitigate that kind of sound issues in that area with the new property being built?
Well, There had been issues with the dance studio. I'm not aware of current issues with the dance studio. It was really sort of when it opened. But, you know, when it opened, our apartment, you know, the flats weren't there. They have only recently opened. If there was a noise problem, the person that would have the biggest problem is us, because we own the apartments that are adjacent to this, that really are a buffer from the neighborhood, you know, to the rest of our site. So I don't see a restaurant use as really being a difficult or obnoxious use. In fact, our residents are really excited with the idea that this would be coming.
And just to kind of clarify a point, these are the existing buildings, and really the improvements are being made exterior with landscaping and some amenities, correct?
Yes.
Sorry, did you have any further questions?
We also, our pool at the apartment complex across the street, our pool is also sort of on the north end of the building. And we came up with what I think is a really attractive screen wall, that we would be sort of duplicating that screen wall detail, although it wouldn't be as high for the restaurant. But I think it's very attractive.
Through the chair. So several years ago, Iron Ridge came to us when you were doing improvements to that parking lot and the building to the south. I believe that there was a ramp that we were removing, or you were removing, or you needed to do something, readjust it, so there needed to be a traffic issue. I'm not even sure how long ago. I tried to look back to like 2023, and I still couldn't find anything.
I think it was 23.
Was it 23? Because I looked and I couldn't find anything. And at the time, part of that project was the small building to the south. And I believe at that time you were interested in doing some type of like carryout. It was going to be very small seating, but it was mostly going to be carryout. And we had to adjust like where the dumpster was going to go. I remember that was a huge conversation. So I just want to know, are those plans still in place for this project? Because that building is not part of this project, and it's already been more than 2 years since you got approval for that. I think that has already been expired. You would need to reapply. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone?
Well, I can't correct you if you're wrong, but I can give you the background of what happened and what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we had a restaurateur who was interested in sort of a pizza carryout. It was determined that that small use by the city, it was determined that that was an accessory use. A food use in that building was an accessory use and allowed in the existing zoning.
Okay.
So we aren't asking for any change of zoning for that site
Okay.
as part of this request.
Okay.
Now, to answer your question, what are our plans for that building? Our plans for that building is when this restaurant, when Will's restaurant is built in this two-story space, he will also be submitting plans for that accessory use building, which will be another small-scale, like cafe, coffee, and we won't be building the little expansion that you're noting that we needed approval for. So that building will be remaining as is, other than finishing the landscaping and sidewalks and things to that building.
Okay, so I guess I have a question for either staff or chair. Our changes to the ordinance doesn't affect this, right? They still have the ability to do that accessory use in an industrial zoned property.
Yeah, I would encourage that staff and the applicant discuss that other site, and we just focus on this site for this evening, since that's
Yeah.
what's on the agenda.
But I just wanna make sure-
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that as you go forward, so you're not going to experience any kind of roadblocks.
Right.
Because I haven't changed my opinion about the project. I think it's great. I think, you guys, definitely would, a great use for the site. I just want to make sure that there's nothing that we've done over the last year or so impacts your plans.
I appreciate that, and we'll check. Our last review of what we saw on record, but maybe it wasn't the most current, but allowed for that same accessory use.
Yeah, we
But we'll
updated the
check it.
ordinance a year ago, so,
so-
yeah, okay. That was really just my concern. Other than that, I think it's a great project, I guess the only other concern that I might have is, the traffic, the loud noise, and, are you gonna do something to help buffer that, for the patrons sitting outside?
As far as like the highway noise?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that that screen wall, it's amazing. In the pool, at the apartments, you cannot hear anything. That screen wall detail that we came up with
okay.
is remarkable. So I think the idea is that the screen wall for the outdoor seating would be above the height of somebody seated.
Okay.
And that's
Would
the
be-
proposed 5-foot fence around the patio area that
Yes.
you're referring to? Thank you.
Through the chair, I have a few more questions. I used to go to the Pulse Fitness in this facility, and I know that it is very unwalkable. Right there when you get the driveway, a lot of folks zoom in from Bermuda, from Royal Oak, and they just shoot into that parking lot area. What are the plans to make it more walkable for folks to patron?
Well, I think we did provide on Bermuda, like those two traffic calming areas and the connection between the apartment building directly across into this new parking lot that we built. And, I think as things, when Pulse first opened, there were no other uses in that property. So it was like people were going crazy in there. But I think as it is populated and there's cars, I think people naturally slow down because they have to maneuver a parking lot sort of in a normal way instead of in a crazy way. But we haven't really experienced those kinds of issues as we've been populating it. And I would encourage you to go back.
Well, with this new job, I'll have enough money now.
The main entrance, is that the one to the south, on the south side of the building?
Yes, to this restaurant.
Yes, to this restaurant, so that people can access it from the parking lot.
Exactly.
And then there's the walk between that building and the building to the south of it, or,
Yeah,
existing,
there's a series of walks that, there's those handicap spaces, and then there's walks that go up from Bermuda all the way to the Pleasant Ridge buildings and into the entrance to this restaurant building, as well as to our parking lot.
Thank you, yes.
And that's your dumpster that we spent a lot of time talking about is going to be used for this.
Which is, yes,
A
thank you.
double,
For both buildings, that dumpsters, is that gonna be enough for both businesses?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We have dumpster corrals all around the property as well.
Any plans for recycling products? Okay.
And what about the grease trap?
Right.
Sure we'll have,
The same enclosure. So, will it cause any issues with carrying the grease then from the restaurant to the dumpster? And if you want to answer, if you please just come do it into the microphone. Thank you.
Hi, Will Branch, proprietor of Paper Sons Barbecue, and thank you guys for your time. As someone who, yes, has had some very long walks with grease refuse out to dumpster enclosures, I will say there are some wonderful products now that have sealable lids and tops, and they insulate very well. So for something like this, where it is a walk, it's not, right there, those types of products on casters that we can take out to the parking lot and then dispose of when we need to are fabulous for this type of usage.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. And then, actually going back to like kind of the circulation of the property and, that primary entrance, so as you said, there's walks kind of going everywhere so people can access, which is great. And so I assume that people from the apartments across the street will access it by the sidewalk from the east side, and then is easily accessible there. But it's just seeing you have a really nice landscape area on the northeast here. I don't see necessarily any seating or anything. Is that going to be activated? It'll be nice to see that activated. And I guess, what are your plans for that?
Yeah, we set forth a pretty sort of minimal landscape plan. We want to actually have it be quite beautiful, but mostly with low plantings, because we want the mural to be visible, sort of as a gateway to the development. I think that the plan, and Will can speak to it, is to have a couple of areas where there's seating for people both waiting for the restaurant and just in general. There is, right now it's quieter than normal because only half the highway is open.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's yet to be seen how much seating will really be used, that close to the highway. But our plan is to activate that space, and if people will use it, we will accommodate them.
Yeah, I hate to see you invest a lot of money and then it not be used and then potentially crumble or whatnot if you don't want to keep investing in it. And so, because I believe that you're putting in that concrete walk, et cetera, and then if it's on the site plan, we will enforce you to do so. Of course, it can be changed minorly, but.
We plan on installing everything that's on that plan and in the highest quality way.
Which is wonderful. I'm just saying, if you wanted to, and of course, as you move forward over the next year, whatnot, those are things that you can change with staff that don't need to come back to us. I would be an advocate if you wanted to kind of trial these things. Like you said, you don't know if it's going to work.
Right.
I think we'd be more than happy to see that, because I want something that's going to be, and I know that you guys want it to look nice, as we do. But I also want it to be maintained and whatnot and make sure that it's a usable space. So I'd love to see that. So thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys beautifying this area and bringing it up to definitely cleaner state than it has been in the past. So
And this is sort of that walkway that goes from the apartments all the way across.
or along Bermuda as well. Thank you.
That was sort of, that was a planning commission suggestion. That wasn't on the original plans.
Yeah.
And we think it looks great.
So,
Yeah, no, it is,
That was, you guys came up with that, as you did with, it might have been a previous planning commission, but you asked for us to put exterior doors on the apartment building on the first floor facing the street to sort of activate, and people love it. That wasn't on the original plan either, but it's been really well received.
Glad to hear that.
through the chair, currently, is there like a walkway lights right there so people know when it's dark out just to walk across currently?
Yes.
Right. And then my second question is, what kind of lighting will be around the restaurant?
I think that there's a lighting plan as part of the plans that were submitted, and I think we're talking about landscape lighting, and of course, we're already lighting the building for the mural, but we'll have to modify how we do that. But I think that everything we've done has been, pretty high caliber, and we're not going to cut now.
That's down lighting, right? Because we do have a dark skies ordinance where we don't approve up lighting.
It's actually sort of, it's framed lighting.
okay.
That just hits the building.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I want to add is, I love when concrete,
Sorry, I still have a question on the lighting.
oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. So looking at the lighting plan, it is within ordinance. I would just say that there doesn't appear to be lighting on the sides, the north side or the south side of the building, along the pathways. And this might have been particularly on the north side to get to 0 at the lot line like we request, but as it is kind of along the road and the sidewalk, it would actually be nice to have lighting on the north side of that building, like wall mounted.
Along
I'm,
the plan.
I'm mostly thinking around, and of course you have the lighting scales for your lights and not any city lights, and I'm not familiar with if any, there are city lights along there, but I was just thinking if that pathway is dark along the north side of your building, it might make it feel safer if you have some wall-mounted lights there. Is that something you had thought about doing this plan?
While doing the plan, we were really trying to hit the zoning requirements and keeping them at the minimums at the property line.
Yeah.
To touch on the comment about downward lit, all of the light fixtures that we have proposed are downward lit, dark sky compliant, and we'll be happy to provide any specs for those lights in the future plans.
And would you be willing or wanting to add some wall-mounted lighting on that north side, just to make that walkway feel
You're talking about, when you say north side, you mean like the old 10 Mile?
correct? Yeah. Is it already well lit and like, okay, if it's city lit, then that's fine, okay. And I'm sure there's a lot of like billboard light and stuff too. Okay, that's fine, I just wanted to make sure, seeing zeros, I assumed it was so that you could, fit the ordinance, but I wanted to make sure that felt safe. Okay, I'm sorry,
No, that's okay.
Councilman Volker?
Because something else just caught my eye. Bike parking, I see it right behind the small building. Is that the only bike parking you're going to be providing?
Yeah, that's what I know that this site is sort of separate, so, but we sort of view all of it together.
Yep.
And yeah, we tried to put some, really significant, in terms of numbers, as well as covering it and making it, something that people would actually want to use. I think that they think that bike traffic is an important.
Yeah, I guess my only concern is it going to be noticed since it's behind the building and it's kind of tucked in? Like, you'd see it from the patio, or from the outdoor dining of the larger restaurant. I just want to make sure that people will know where to go.
I think that it'll be, once you enter that parking lot, which is really the way that you're going to enter for both buildings, because there is no street parking. Once you enter that parking lot, I think that there's, it's pretty open.
So you're expecting that the patron access is going to be between those two buildings? You expect most people are going to be coming between those two buildings? And that's going to be
That's
that's going to be that's how you're going to funnel kind of people in to that area? Okay.
I think people with bikes tend to find somewhere to lock them up. So it will be nice that they're provided.
Yeah, it's just, I know most people with bikes, they like right off the sidewalk, right off the street,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
but.
Although at the apartments across the street, we have sort of a covered area and an open area, they're all used. But all of them are sort of in the back, not,
Yeah.
I have another question.
Sorry, before we move on
Oh,
from
no,
the
ma'am.
bikes, I was just looking.
Sorry.
No, that's my bad. Sorry, just, since we have the new ordinance, this is something I was trying to look up, but actually don't know the answer to. And Melissa, as you're, doing the site plan review, do we actually need a, request to reduce the, required bike parking since it's not on site?
I mean, technically, wouldn't it just be an agreement with themselves?
So typically, I just want to make sure with the new ordinance, because there's the whole, so it's, the ordinance in Muni Code says, it references the parking manual, and then I don't, the bicycle, I see bicycle parking now. It's on the last column.
I will say that the new zoning ordinance does have the ability for CED director to allow for some waivers via the way of, a letter of parking sufficiency with the site plan submission. So if we were to get a parking study, that is an option that Director Cuero could take a look at and do that administratively. Otherwise, I do believe that they would be able to enter a shared parking agreement with themselves. And I believe that staff would be in charge of reviewing that as well, so.
We might want to review this ordinance at a later date. Can you just add that to the list? To give us make sure that we have the flexibility that we need to provide waivers. I'm not going to be able to read this whole ordinance. It doesn't say it in the specific 24-7.02 bicycle access and facilities. So I just want to make sure that we're doing that properly and can review it. Apologies as we get used to our new zoning code. We did a whole rewrite, so lots to learn.
no apologies necessary.
I can just speak from, driving down there at various times. That big parking lot is rarely 25% full.
I'm not worried about it at all. I just want to make sure that we're doing the
Oh, absolutely.
correct administratively.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, any further questions for the applicant?
No questions, just comments, and it's regarding the green space. Converting that concrete to green space is a big thing for me. So I appreciate it when you can, always have the chance to, rip out concrete and put in green, permeable.
We've done a lot of that at Iron Ridge.
Yeah, you have.
I have one more question, and then I'm done, I promise. I know this is probably going to be a very popular spot for our community. How will rideshare delivery drivers and curbside activity be managed?
Again, I think that, we have, we're uniquely positioned, and I hope that people like it, for both pedestrians and bike riders and vehicles. We are overparked, if anything. So I think we have the ability to accommodate all of those kinds of things, all in our private parking lots, and nothing, not tying up streets or anything at all.
If nothing further, we could,
I just noticed, you guys eliminated the second-story windows to accommodate that mural.
We actually, it's interesting, I think there's actually a before and after, but yes, we we eliminated just a couple of windows. That two-story.
More than a couple.
No, because the second story is only half of the first floor. So we actually, what we did is we made it look like it's two-story all the way across in order to, we built that wall just
Oh, because
for
it
a
had
mural.
that slant.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So we really, we
Yeah.
built that wall just for the purpose of public art.
Wow. Very nice. You need a motion?
Yes, we can start with the conditional rezoning.
I wasn't aware of any changes. Okay. So I move in the matter of 660 East 10 Mile Road, Sidwell, number 24-25-27-201-202.
020.
Or 020, yeah. A public hearing was held as published for this date and place. Planning Commission recommends approval of the conditional rezoning application and agreement to the city council based on plans and the conditional rezoning agreement dated December 1st, 2025 to conditionally rezone the parcel from Industrial 1 to MXD1 Neighborhood Mixed Use with the following findings and conditions as presented in the packets, 1 through 8 findings and condition 1.
Is a motion by Councilman Polika. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Second by Commissioner Subakatani. Just some discussion on the motion. I know that we changed our administrative approval process a bit, Melissa, and I noticed in your packet you say conditionally approve. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. Never mind. Okay, never mind. I remember there had been some discussion on who would approve rezoning, so I just wanted to make sure. I'll have a roll call vote, please.
Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Subakatani,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Polika.
Yes.
The motion is approved.
And for site plan recommendation, or site plan approval, I move in the matter of 660 East 10 Mile Road, Sidwell, number 24-25-27-201-020. A public hearing was held as published for this date and place. The Planning Commission conditionally approves the site plan based on the plans dated December 1st, 2025, with the following conditions in the packet, conditions 1 and 2.
Second.
As a motion by Councilman Polika and a second by Commissioner Hall. A roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Newman,
Aye. Yes.
Commissioner Subakatani,
Yes.
Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Polika.
Yes.
Approved. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you bringing this to us, and we look forward to seeing the end result. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, moving,
First time I've been able to make a motion because I'm not going to be voting for it.
So proud.
you.
So proud.
All right, we'll be moving on to, we have no old business nor discussion items, so we'll move on to administrative item 8A, our planning commission schedule for 2026.
So we've had some previous discussion on this. I sent all of you a draft of the 2026 schedule. This was really just an administrative item to let you know that City Council has considered it. If you have any further revisions, we're happy to accommodate that and we can revise at a later date. But again, just an informational item for you all.
Council approved it.
Yes.
Great. All right.
I will say my only item is that I think the February meeting will be my last.
Okay.
Moving date is uncertain, but likely to be March, so probably easier to plan for it there.
I got some baby back.
We want to trade seats.
I'd love to be back here.
It's a lot of personal business, but in any case, I have to move out of my house. I'll still own it, but I wasn't able to find another place in Ferndale. So I'm moving to my farm for a while, probably forever, if everything goes well.
You're not a resident.
So I'm not technically a resident, and I don't need to technically change my voter ID, but I'm going to, because I think that that's appropriate, like if I'm out there and I'm living there more. So I think I have to resign, but I don't want to. Like I said, I'll still be a property owner, but I think I have to,
You have to be a resident.
right?
Yeah.
So,
For certain boards, I think you have to be a resident. Because there's certain boards you can be, like a business owner. You don't have to live here. So
Right.
like the DDA, you don't have to live in Ferndale to be on the DDA. You have
I
to
think it would be more appropriate anyway, because if I'm not spending a majority of my time here, then, I don't know.
The spirit.
But I was really looking, and we're very popular,
Yeah, we are.
very popular. I can't afford to live here. Well, I can't afford to have.
I will say that I've been surprised that over the last 6 months or so, that I've noticed properties selling for under asking price, which is a first in a long time, but they're still
I think also
way.
asking prices have gotten.
Well, yeah,
a little
the
bit
asking
more,
price has gotten out of hand.
Optimistic, yeah.
Once the interest rates go down another tick or two, it's just gonna shoot back up again.
Yeah.
Well, there's a home on Symes right across the street from Martin Park if you want it.
Yeah.
Would love to have you be a neighbor.
I'll go take a look. I was looking for more of a smaller rental sublet situation, but yeah,
We have a ton of those too.
yeah,
I know of one
Prices are
opening up
crazy.
in January.
yeah.
Okay, we should probably discuss this
Sorry, we're trying
after.
to problem
I just
solve.
wanted to
We're
bring that
problem
up
solving.
because
So thank you for letting us know. We can discuss it further after
Great.
the meeting and about timing, et cetera, if that's necessary. Thank you. Any further administrative items?
No, I don't have any.
Any, I have a commission item, but I would like to thank Councilman Polika for his years of service and the great addition to the Planning Commission for 7 years, has it been now, 8?
At least 6.
Okay.
I know that I've been on it since
Us.
19. Well, yeah, because that's when Mayor Martin left. Mayor Coulter left, Mayor Martin left, and Mayor Piana took her office in 20. So it was 19. That's when I was.
So 6 years. Well, thank you. You've been a really great addition to the team, and it's just been wonderful to see how much you've learned about planning and zoning, which I'm sure you didn't really care to over the years, but I was really proud of the way that you really advocated for the work that we did on the zoning ordinance at the council and just everything you've done to support us and to be a great voice on the council and for the residents of Ferndale. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy some more free time, hopefully.
A little bit more.
A little bit more. We'd also love to see you back on the planning commission if possible.
Thank you, thank you. I would love to be back on the planning commission. This is, out of all the commissions, this really is my favorite. I think it has the most impact to our community, right after council. You know, but it really does have a significant role in, you know, how Ferndale is developed. So I'd very much like to be back if council will support me. But thank you very much. I'll have a little bit of time. My Ford job has been very, very busy, which is why I didn't run again for council for another term. But I think I would have enough time to dedicate to the planning commission in the future.
Wonderful. All right, well, thank you. Any additional commission items? If not, we will see you in the new year, and I hope everyone enjoys the holidays, and we will adjourn the meeting at